Broadcasting from the Loading Ready Run orbiting underground moon base, this is the LRRcast.
Yeah.
Have you ever actually heard the Loading Ready Run theme song?
Oh yeah.
That's not it. That's not it.
I know. I'm feeling creative today.
All right.
Doop, doop, doop.
New
That's the Loading Ready Run theme song.
New Loading Ready Run theme song. Dooba-dooba-doo. Anyway.
Do me doom.
It's Gur singing the theme song.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Loading Ready Run podcast. Since last time we spoke, we've done many a video, most of which have been lovingly covered with episodes of Loading Time.
Just slathered with episodes of Loading Time.
Yeah.
And those that weren't covered with episodes of Loading Time. Oh, right, no. And those that were covered with episodes of Loading Time also got blog posts with trivia and some other facts.
Smothered in coverage.
There's more.
Smotherage.
You probably know more about these videos than we do.
That's likely.
Yeah, actually, I believe since the last podcast, we should mention that the Loading Time stuff is not on the Escapist anymore.
Yeah, on the off chance that you're listening to this,
and for some reason,
but didn't see the other information. Yeah, it's just it's on our own site now. So the articles that Kathleen wrote are now in the form of blog posts with all that fun trivia that you love so much.
Less detail, more trivia.
Yeah, and but we're still doing them because we love them videos.
Love them.
Yeah, so we can talk a little bit about Wizard Chat and then do some Askler.
So I believe we already gave the sort of gestation of the name Wizard Chat.
Yeah.
I don't think
places.
it is news to anyone.
So, but the how this works is that every time in the last 2 years or so, whenever we've been trying to think of a name for something, and Kathleen and/or Jer would bring up Wizard Chat.
Yeah, I'm not claiming full responsibility for Wizard Chat.
It's mostly you.
I would say that sounds like a really funny idea. I think Wizard sitting around chatting is a really fun idea. You should make a video about it.
And I never did.
And she never did.
We even had a completely different concept for one at one time that you and Jer were going to write.
Yep.
And you never did.
And so then...
Gesundheit.
And so I was like, screw it, I will write Wizard Chat the way I imagined it. And that's what it ended up being. It's like I was thinking of like different forms that it could take, like sort of a almost sort of talk show, like daytime talk show, maybe sort of Jerry Springer style.
That would have been pretty sweet. I was thinking more like The View style, because you would have like a bunch of different wizards.
That was basically the idea that Jer and I sort of vaguely batted around and then ignored.
And so so
It was going to be like a guy. Wasn't there going to be like a guy who didn't want to be on the talk show, but he kept trying to leave, but because they were wizards, he kept like going to different shows that ended up
being
Wizard Chat secretly.
Yeah, it was pretty high concept.
Or he like walked off one side and came in the other side and stuff.
Yeah.
Or he was being interviewed on like a news show that then like the curtain pulled back and it was actually Wizard Chat again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It's just wizards messing with you, chat.
Pretty much.
Asshole Wizard Chat.
Yeah.
So I mean, the Wizard Chat, like, it basically is all reliant on funny magic. Like the idea is that, it's not it's a funny concept, but they're not actually like making excessive jokes in the process of the video. It's just lots of this sort of silly wizard terminology and stuff.
Well, what I like about this video is it kind of puts you into the same situation that you get in when you watch Star Trek. You're looking into a portal of a magical world where everything is very mundane and everyday, so it's almost more believable, right? Where it's like, yeah, this is literally just like NPR for wizards, right?
Yeah. I was sort of channeling a little bit of I was thinking about like Ask a Ninja a little bit, like when he talks about like the Aethernet and stuff. It's like, it's like the internet except for wizards. Just like making up random, taking real world things and making up sort of wizardifying the names. It's I quite enjoy.
I'm a big fan of the Aethernet.
My favorite part of this video is actually the costuming that we had. Like, Paul was wearing a bunch of robes, and the same wig that I'm wearing for the one where James is the Tooth Fairy and I'm the annoying 16-year-old girl. And this, like, Value Village, like, barbarian beard that came with, like, 2 ridiculous long braids that I unbraided and, like, made into a long fluffy
The
beard.
beard
And
worked really well
it
on you.
matched not only the color of the wig, but Paul's eyebrows. Like, Paul, you look like Saruman the White in his younger, hipper days.
I was thinking, and I think some people sort of commented on it, that I think for Graham's beard we should have trimmed it a little bit so you could see his mouth.
I suggested that, but I was shot down at the time. Remember, you're like, "Oh, it's fine."
No, you weren't talking about trimming it. You were talking about like doing different attachments, which we did. We stuck it to my upper lip better, so that it would actually move.
But there was
properly.
actually there was a mouth hole in that beard. But the hair was so long that it completely covered it.
Or what we could have done rather than trimming is we could have like styled a ridiculous mustache into it.
We would have needed a lot of mustache wax for that thing.
We have hair gel.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was really happy actually with how the video turned out. You may have recognized the set. Because it's this one.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, in the original script, I was thinking we could either set it up here because I knew we had all the equipment here, or, where we did
The drive.
the CFUV.
Drive.
And it worked out to be better to actually do it here. So, and we could put up stuff on the
Looks like
screen. I was happy with the combination of, like, they've got a monitor that tells them what the callers are and stuff, but then he's timing the things with a in fact, that one right there, the hourglass stuff. So it's a good sort of wizard.
I also liked the. Can you turn down your second sight? It is feeding back into our scrying sphere.
Oh my goodness! Trying to find the right type of feedback for putting that video together was really difficult.
That was a horrifying noise you created.
Yes.
That was a really, really
All the
terrible
filters.
sound. Good
It
job.
also taught me how to use all the audio filters in Final Cut Pro X, so that was fun.
I actually used to work on a political call-in show. I was a camera guy on a political call-in show for about a year and a half or so, and so that like turn down anybody who's ever going to be phoning into a radio show or a TV show. Turn down your TV or radio before you call in.
Agreed.
Because
it will feed back.
If you're watching the actual show, it'll just be a horrible, horrible problem.
I know you want to hear yourself on the TV, but it doesn't work.
Yeah. So because there was no loading time, you didn't get up close and personal information on all the great set dressing we did.
Which was making 3 posters.
I thought Alex actually did get shots of them, but maybe not.
Yeah, but there wasn't enough other Wizard Chat stuff to use in that episode.
Right. Yeah, so we wanted to have other shows that could be on the WZRD.
One of which is another go-to Kathleen suggestion for a show name.
Beards.
No,
it's gonna beards.
Sundays
beards,
at 3.
Beards. Sundays at 3.
What's yours, James?
Touched by a familiar.
Touch my real wizards, real stories.
Yeah.
What's it say?
Let the healing start.
Ugh. And then over by me, I've got the Photoshop wizard, trace edges, plastic wrap,
Move your head a little bit so people. There you go.
twirl.
Which a lot of people picked up on that in the episode, right? That was fairly visible behind Paul, but
Yeah.
beards, and touched by a familiar less so. So that was Wizard Chat. Everybody really likes it.
Yeah.
Like the reception was warm, which makes me think that Wizard Chat was an excellent idea. Thank
so-
you guys.
So not only after when all the Wizard Chat stuff came up when we were originally talking about the Tap Tap Concede podcast, not only have people on the forums done their own Wizard Chat as a Magic podcast.
Yeah.
In the thread for Wizard Chat, the Loading Ready Run video, so I forget who it is now. We can probably look it up in the thread, but somebody actually made their own, basically like another show on WZRD. Although I think he like MAGI, I think was his radio show or his radio network. It's just like another, and he
competing.
Well, he did, and he did like I don't know if it's a full show, but he did quite a big thing of just him talking as a wizard about I think it's like about creating whether it's better to get materials or just to conjure them, stuff like that. So I thought I was highly amused by that.
Maybe we could make wizarding a new internet meme, because I think the Harlem, what is it?
The Harlem Shake.
The Harlem Shake. I couldn't remember exactly what it was called, but I think that one is dead. I think that meme has already been beaten within an inch of its life.
I don't think they're equivalents in terms of memeage.
How does one wizard?
I think you just show up in random places in a wizard hat and beard and robe, and
that's a lot of props.
That's not really that many props.
This is why planking was so successful. It was easy.
That's true.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make you look that stupid in public.
You look kind of dumb.
You look
kind
pretty
of
stupid,
dumb.
yeah.
Right. The thread on the Escapist also got into some deep world building, and there's now an Aethernet collective on the Escapist.
Right, it's like an Escapist forum group or
Yeah.
something.
Really?
That's very active.
Actually, my favorite thing, this happened both on the Escapist and on Loading Ready Run. The massive disagreements that people had
Over like wands and staves and stuff.
Wands and staves, and then people would bring it's like, what about a crystal ball? Why isn't anybody talking about crystal ball? Or like using a sword, magical swords and stuff. Like people having like really and citing various examples from wizarding history or their own experiences and stuff. It's just, I love it when people comment on videos like in world for the video.
Yeah, they really take a joke and run with it.
Highly amusing. And I think that resulted, like, at least especially on the Escapist, that resulted in like way more comments for that video than we've got for like any previous Loading Ready Run videos.
Yay, wizard chat.
Go Wizards.
All right, that's like 10 minutes.
Yeah. So now we have a whole bunch of Askler because James put a thread up for it this morning.
Yep.
All right.
So
So
we're
this is
doing
my
some
new
Askler.
Askler system, where if we talk for more than 5 minutes about a question, we automatically move on.
But what if we don't? What if we talk for less than 5 minutes? And how do you flip the thing?
Yeah, then you have to wait
for it to go.
Be quiet.
Then we have to sit here.
Stop impinging me with logic.
If it
Let's
only
just
takes
go.
us 2 minutes, then we have to sit here in silence for 3 minutes.
All right, let's go.
Prospero 101 asks, I really love the Paul as a mad scientist gags in the earlier episodes of Commodore Hustle. What made you guys decide that? And is there any chance of bringing it back?
I mean, that's still sort of Paul and Commodore Hustle. I guess it's probably less.
There was a pretty recent one where you were doing some sort of weird technology,
weird
wasn't there?
sciencey stuff.
I'm trying to remember. What are the more recent episodes of Hustle?
But yeah, like I don't think that's gone. I mean, I guess it's because we don't have the overarching story from like the first season of Hustle. It's maybe less. I have less influence on the plot, but
didn't you do something in Mustachio a Question? Didn't you do some sort of some kind of inventing?
I don't know. I know in the B Team one, they like have my crazy.
Yeah, they go to your shop or whatever.
They have that my crazy amplifier thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Or no, it's actually like a quieting device, but they use it as an amplifier because it's broken.
Because it's something that Commodore Hustle Paul made, so it's not quite correct.
It does not work.
Yeah.
And like, in Friday nights, my magic card is all about inventing and stuff. So like, I think that's definitely still a part of the character, and I quite like that.
I don't know where that came up originally, like why that was originally there.
Well, it was because it was originally like there's sort of like the science thing, right?
Yeah.
Because like, I guess, which I think was pre-Commodore Hustle, that we did some stuff where I was a scientist.
I guess it was because in the second episode of Commodore Hustle is the one where you're helping Matt fix his Xbox.
Right.
And so you show up with like all these tools and like a scientist coat.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like even pre Commodore Hustle, there's like Loading Ready Lab stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Where there's like me and Gib in lab coats and various other things. So it's always been sort of a part of characters I play on Loading Ready Run.
Yeah.
But that's my favorite part of the sort of I liken Paul from Commodore Hustle as like a good-natured tornado. He just he's a very nice guy, and he likes everybody, and most people kind of like him, but he causes a fair amount of
He probably causes a lot more trouble than he realizes.
And he's always helping people in any way he can, but that usually works out to be bad.
Yeah, it's helpful is a subjective judgment.
And I like when in Commodore Hustle where I invent things that are incredibly technically impressive and also bad, like are like the Nest Box 386 or whatever, like things that's like, holy crap, how did you do that? And also, why did you do that? Yeah.
All right. Moving on.
Gap Filler asks, how did the Loading Ready Run ident, as seen in Checkpoint and Feed Dump, come about? I just put that on there one week because I wanted to do better branding. Like, so that I didn't want to be in one of those situations where it's like, oh, wait, you do this, and you're the people who also do that other thing. Oh.
I get it now. Yeah.
I wanted to for there to be more, like, overarching, like a more overarching connection between the shows that was more visual. So
people, I'm sure, still probably don't realize that they're connected, but we try.
Yeah.
Everything we can.
Moses Pippi asks, looking back on it now, how would Loading Ready Run be different if Kathleen didn't lose a job over a tweet?
Well, I'd like to think that the whole internet is different because I have probably furthered internet tweet law in a case, as an example that can be cited and stuff like that. Interesting. I think if this happened now, I don't think I would be able to lose my job over it because of various cases that have been brought. Employers firing people and stuff like that over like Facebook posts and stuff like that. Do you want
to, for the probably many, many people who don't know what's up, you want to briefly tell the story?
Yeah, I worked at an oil company, which shall not be named, but they operate in Burnaby and had a major oil spill in 2007, which is how I got that job. And it's all public information. And I tweeted a joke, and I did not have a good working relationship with my coworkers because me and them tended to have different ideas about the role of women in the workplace coffee making responsibilities. And I ended up losing my job over a tweet, which at the time was fairly questionable, but they gave me a very large severance package, which was extra delightful, and I moved to Victoria, and now I work a lot more full-time with Loading Ready Run. I think I probably would have moved to Victoria anyhow at some point, but this was a good catalyzing factor. It turned out to be a blessing in disguise. So
pro tip, don't make any jokes about Elizabeth de Bathroy unless you are positive that your coworkers will understand what you mean when you reference bathing in their blood. Pro tip.
Pro tip.
Yeah. Just general bathing in the blood is probably just an area you want to stay away from.
Come on.
To what was it? To maintain your youthful appearance?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. Red Nightmare asks, for each person present, what's your favorite practical joke, goof, or prank, etc. that you have ever pulled during a Loading Ready Run shoot? I like that. It's a good question. I'm trying to think of one.
I don't think I've really pulled too many practical jokes during shoots.
I recall one where we were up at UVic, and there was a bunch of us there. Morgan was there. Matt was there. Matt had to go back to his car for something, and so while he was gone, that's all for one question, Kathleen.
No, I know. This is great.
All right. While he was gone, everyone else left the room except Morgan, who got naked.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
I don't think I was there for that.
I think that the order was probably Morgan got naked and then
everyone
else
left the room.
No, it was...
Or were we actually still in the room just on the other side of it in a way that we were obscured from Morgan so that Matt would...
I can't remember. I remember that happening, though.
Yeah.
I can't remember if we left. I feel like we did, but I could be wrong. That was a while ago.
I feel like that was mostly Morgan's idea.
Oh, yeah, it definitely was. Because Matt still never seen Morgan naked. I think the conversation had come up that Matt had never seen Morgan's
He decided
dong.
that could not stand.
So that could not stand. And then Matt walked in and suspected something, and he probably did see him naked, but I recall
He was quick though.
He was quick. I recall him claiming he's like, I didn't see anything.
And he just saw sort of like he turned his head, saw sort of like a flash of pink, and then was right back out. Again.
Yeah. So I call bull and say Matt's probably seen Morgan naked at this point.
Probably.
So
Even subconsciously.
exactly.
So there was that.
Yeah, there was that.
I think that's probably our greatest
Just
prank.
smashing people over the head with that.
Yeah,
plate
there's the
count.
metal plate.
Oh, I
I mean,
missed
that
that
was
plate.
that was the
Yeah,
big
I
thing.
missed
We
that
gotta find
plate.
another one of those keyboards somewhere.
Yeah.
That was the big recurring joke or recurring prank, I guess. It's not really even a prank.
No, it's not. It's
Well,
just,
it's just prank, goof, gag,
Goof,
etc.
gag,
Yeah.
Metal plate. So how did you lose the metal plate, James?
It disappeared.
it just disappeared
Did you,
one day.
did you
He
hide it
lost it.
somewhere in your
He
house?
lost it.
No, it definitely wasn't in my house because when we moved, it was just not there, and we moved. Like everything got cleaned. Like there was not a single.
Yeah, no stone was left unturned.
No, so it was never there. I assumed it probably just got lost during one of the office moves.
Oh.
Because I know it was at my house for a while, but then I'm pretty sure I brought it into the office, or it stayed at the office. So
Oh, you know what? We might have ended up being hidden somewhere in the old office, and we might have forgotten about
it's
it.
possible. There's a
Oh
lot
no!
more
Now
mixing.
they've torn down the building, so it's
Yeah,
gone
so it's
forever.
gone forever.
Curses.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Fizul asks if you could shoot LRR in, if you could shoot a video in any exotic location, where would it be?
Any exotic location.
I don't know if Japan is exotic, but I'd like to.
pretty exotic.
I'd like to shoot a video there,
Yeah, I think Loading Ready Run Goes Japan would be a good video.
like
Yeah.
like
Well,
we'll go there on like a vacation and just do a bunch of Commodore Hustle episodes.
and I know there's definitely been a few. I mean, these wouldn't actually be good places to go for vacations or whatever, or not necessarily, but like, Victoria doesn't have that many different types of locale in it. So there's like been a few things where we wanted like a desert island or something. And we basically don't have anything around here that even looks like that from the right angle. Like it's just we don't have sort of palm trees and stuff around. So being able to shoot something like that would be pretty neat. That was actually
so like maybe like the Maldives or something like that. So you can get all those like jungle, desert island, tropical kind of things.
I'm going with Chernobyl.
that would be sweet.
I would not go to. You could go to Chernobyl. I would
Commodore
not.
Hustle. What, you wouldn't do that? That'd be awesome.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
I
Just
like
stay off the grass.
Yeah.
100% cancer free. I'm gonna keep it that way.
You'll be fine.
No, I'm not going to Chernobyl.
But that was actually, I don't know if we talked about it. That was actually the last Johnny video. The sort of conclusion of the Johnny
Right.
thing. The
Oh,
original
yeah, right,
concept
they
for
were-
that was that he was going to be the ruler of a small tropical island.
That's right.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
gonna be
we-
crowned king.
But we could not figure out how to actually shoot that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we were trying to make him in like a beautiful like throne room, and that didn't work either because nobody would let us film in their thing, and it was really irritating.
So something like that, or also like there's been a couple of videos now that I wanted to do that like required like a barren, desolate wasteland,
Yeah, that's tough.
which again,
Which means basically breaking into a gravel pit.
yeah, Victoria is really nice. It's actually hard to find desolate areas in Victoria.
We came close to shooting Johnny 5 in a Masonic temple.
But then they
Because
never
we have
got
a
back
we
to
have a
us.
really nicely appointed, like 100-year-old Masonic lodge in town here, and Noah went in and talked to the guy, and he was like, "You can shoot in here, but we don't want you to get any Masonic symbols in the shot."
And you're like, that's fine.
And that we're totally fine with that if friggin' every
Yeah.
surface in a
Wasn't.
Masonic lodge wasn't friggin' covered with set squares and compasses and eyes, and we wanted to
So
use
it's
their
like-
throne, which has got the friggin' mitre like right in the back, and it's like there's no way that you can actually.
You just like point the camera at the floor.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out a way that we
Which is
no
also
no
inlaid.
the floor, this amazing carpet. I actually had to ask the guy. I was like, I need to ask you this. Maybe you can't answer it. I don't know. Who makes all this Masonic stuff? Because your carpet is covered in the squares and the compasses and the eyes and everything. And apparently there's a company in Toronto that serves most of North America that just makes Masonic stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, makes
So
it's a good job if you can get it.
Good
yeah,
business.
there's definitely like if we ever had an opportunity to go to some kind of exotic location with like if we had like a month or two of lead time, we would definitely like
This
try
is
to
longer
write
than a
a
5-minute
bunch of
timer.
scripts.
It is.
I know.
We would definitely want to like write a bunch of scripts to use that to its fullest extent.
It's like a half-hour timer, I think.
I think so. Yeah.
Kathleen, I know you like. This is also Fizul. I know you like interesting music. Have you heard Jack White's solo album?
No, I have not yet.
All right.
Good.
Do you guys watch QI?
Yes.
If so, who's your favorite guest panelist? I like David Mitchell.
Yeah, I
Mitchell's
mean,
pretty
I
awesome.
like David Mitchell anyway.
Yeah.
He's only been on once or twice, but when
He's
Jeremy
really, really
Clarkson is on, it's usually pretty funny because
I don't
he
think I've
gets
seen enough QI to really
he gets
know.
very annoyed at things.
That seems like
Also,
something
Jimmy
weird.
Carr is very funny.
Oh yeah, Jimmy Carr. Well,
Actually-
there's some Jimmy
actually,
Carr
no.
tax-related controversies
Actually-
going in the UK right now.
Bill Bailey,
Mm.
because his answers are insane.
Yeah,
Like his answers are absolutely just like
like half the
Madness.
time he'll know it. Like he's a smart guy, and half the time sometimes he'll know it, and if he doesn't know it, he'll just say something random. Like he'll
Okay.
always buzz in on things.
And it's just like, what is the most, I'm trying to think of a QI type question. What's a QI type question? And I'll give you an insane Bill Bailey answer. I haven't watched a ton of QI.
I'm trying to think now.
Yeah, see, it's way harder to come up with the questions.
What? Okay. Famous astronomer Tycho Brahe famously owned what kind of animal?
A vole that nibbled delicately on his toes at midnight. Right? Like, that's like the
Yeah,
kind
wow,
of shit that...
that was really good.
Yeah, like, that is the kind of thing that Bill Bailey will come up with. I knew I could come up with something random. I just...
A vole that nibbled delicately on his toes at midnight. I like that.
Yeah, so that
It doesn't matter what the question is. You could have that was the answer.
Yeah.
that's true.
Fazul says he also came up. He'd been amalgamating the Loading Ready Run couple names. You're not the first person to try this.
No.
Do you have any questions, thoughts, or comments on this? We're gonna shut down Grathleen
No.
because it's terrible.
Graphene? Yeah, no.
Ashames is also bad.
No.
Pretty bad.
But since neither of them are here, we're gonna say you can go ahead and call Jaren Talley Jelly all day long.
Oh, yeah, no. Jelly is fucking sweet.
Jelly?
Whatever. They're not here to say no.
I guess, but like, that doesn't. When I hear that, I wouldn't think Jaren Talley.
No,
I would
it'd
think
be like Jirali. Like our names just don't work.
No.
Yeah. Please do not. We do not need any benefers or
We're
Brandelinas.
separate people. All right. Alexander Ditto. Important. What's your favorite type of granola bar?
Well, I like those sweet and salty
Peanut
ones.
butter oat.
Yeah, those are pretty solid. This
Yeah.
I ate a lot of those when we were filming Strip Search.
sweet and salty, high protein.
Actually relevant. Loading Ready Run's been producing a lot of magic-related material, and you've done work for Nimblebits, Pocket Planes, and Tiny Tower. Don't forget the latest Tiny Tower video came out in January. Check that
Ooh.
shit out. What video game, property, etc. would you most like to do work for if given the chance?
This is a very good question, and I'm trying to think.
I've thought a lot about doing like it would be sweet to do like Games Workshop stuff.
Oh yeah.
Not just because I want to get free Games Workshop stuff, but also just because they have such a ridiculous universe
I love the 40K mythos. I love it so much.
and all their little all their sweet like models and stuff. I'm sure we could do an awesome thing with that. Video games.
I don't know.
We already work with wizards. It's awesome.
Video games, though.
I don't know. Maybe something for Atlas. Like, it would be amazing if Atlas hired us to help promote Persona 5 or something like that.
Oh man. Anything involving Valve, but they kind of have their own thing.
Yeah, they got their own thing going.
That's a good question.
That's a good question. I don't know. And optional, can you all say the roof in unison? The roof. If you're not unaware of that, go watch the Tiny Tower videos on Nimblebit's YouTube page.
Yeah. Oh, and I have to say about Nimblebit fans, they are like those YouTube comments were like so different than normal YouTube
They were
comments.
very positive.
They're all very positive. They're all people going, I like that. It was funny. My favorite part was that there is not a single reference to bodily fluids or engorged organs in other orifices. It was like, is this YouTube? What am I looking at here? I'm confused.
That was a funny video. It engorged my organ.
Yeah.
Gapfeller has 3 questions that I can knock out really rapidly. Did Graham ever film? This is going back like a long time. Did Graham ever film that lunar eclipse he said he would in the Keytar's LRRcast?
That's really old.
No.
Wow. No, I did actually, but the footage is terrible. Whatever happened to Gibbs' PS3? I think it was one of our PS3s, or it's the cardboard one, which we still have downstairs. And given subsequent history, do those of you who did the sleep dep experiment, which I believe is just Graham at this point, look back on it with scorn? No, but I wouldn't be able to do it now just because I couldn't waste 3 days basically. Janelmo asks, what movies are you guys excited about that are released later this year? The Hobbit Part 2.
What's coming out this year?
The Hobbit Part 2.
Iron Man
Side-
3 comes out.
Iron Man 3.
Iron Man
Definitely.
3.
Oh wait, no, Star Trek Into Darkness.
Ooh, yeah.
New Star Trek. Yeah.
Star Trek.
Star Trek.
The big robot movie, which name I can't remember
Pacific
now.
Rim.
Thank you, Pacific Rim.
Which looks like Evangelion.
Um,
Like right down to like the angsty like people controlling the robots subplot
Yeah,
that I'm
yeah,
even
yeah.
reading from the trailer, and I'm just like, whoa. Evangelion for adults, basically.
those are some.
Yeah.
I'm sure there
Actually,
are more.
the next, the English release of the third Evangelion retelling movie, I'm really excited to see because the first two were very good. The end of Evangelion or whatever it's called.
Need No Life asks, how many of the members of the crew have been outside of the North American continent and where have they gone? Do you guys like to travel? We do when we can.
Yeah, I love traveling, but my schedule is not super permissive. For a while, Graham and I were on a schedule where every 2 years we'd try to go someplace big and new.
Well, we still can be.
Well, I don't know if it's going to work out this year because of other commitments.
Weren't
but
you
maybe
in
next
London
year.
last year?
Yeah.
So that would be 2014 would be your next big trip.
No, we were in London the year before, actually. We went to
In
11.
Oh, yeah, because it was last summer. So it'd be this summer we'd need
Yeah,
to go somewhere.
but I don't think that's going
okay.
to happen. Yeah, we went to Japan in 2009, and that was awesome, and we should have gone for longer, but eh. And we went to London and
Well,
Chichester.
England. It wasn't really
England.
London. It was only London for a couple days.
Yeah, in 2011. And I've been to Hawaii passing through when I was moving from New Zealand, and obviously I've been to New Zealand. I'm fairly well traveled.
Yeah, I've been to Hawaii. I went there for a few times, but I don't know if that really technically counts as outside North America.
It's
It
off
is.
the continent of North America.
Yeah, it's off the continent, but not out of the country.
No. But
Other than that,
take
I've
it.
mostly just been around North America.
Yeah. I've been to
I
US,
definitely
Mexico.
would like
That's
to
it.
travel around a little more, though.
I just went to Austin for the first time for a trivia contest, and Austin is great. Austin is just like, everybody have a good time and party and also eat these tacos.
Yeah.
Tacos.
Oh, no, you're like, really? More Tex-Mex? Can't just get, like, sandwich?
Everything is Tex-Mex.
Can't get a sandwich? No? The plainest thing you have is grits? I'm so phenomenally hungover and all I can eat is beans and cheese? Like, that's the experience you start to get into, like, your third day in Austin.
Try not to be that phenomenally hungover.
You saw who I went to Austin with.
All right. The Bookster asks, is there a story behind Bionic Trousers? Where did that name come from? Funny story. This is not like a us being creative thing. This is my mom, the cyber squatter, came across the domain name for bionictrousers.com. And we were like, and she was like, do you guys want this? You could do something with it. And we were like, ooh, we need an official company name. So we became Bionic Trousers Media.
Yeah, and there's nothing better than having a company name that almost without fail, anytime we introduce like a new person to it, like if I'm at the bank
Yeah.
or you're talking to somebody on the phone or whatever, there's always like this little smile, little smirk, or when somebody looks at the credit card or whatever when we're buying something, it's always a lot of fun.
Graham and Paul, when did you guys officially start working on Loading Ready Run full time? Were you nervous? It would be the January that Unskippable started.
Yeah, which I think was 2009.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that Unskippable was what allowed us to start working on it full time, and yeah, I mean it was pretty nerve wracking because I mean that was at the same time we got our first office space. So well, I guess a little bit beforehand.
I mean, I don't know if it was like super nervous making because like at that point your job you were doing like independent like web work anyway. So this was like different contract work that was ostensibly more regular. I was at that time I was like just finishing up like a second contract at like a really terrible job that I didn't like at all, and my contract was expiring anyway. So I was like, no, I'm happy to just try and make this work. I've got some money put away, and if it fails I can do this for a while. And it worked out well. I think I was I'm not saying there was no nerves, but there was more excitement than nerves.
Yeah, it's like,
I-
this is better
I
than
guess
what
it
I was
was
doing.
getting the office space was actually probably more of a bigger step,
Mm.
just because, because that was like, okay, we're gonna get this office space, so now we're gonna, we have this much that has to be paid every month. So we've got to figure out where that money is going to come from. So that was definitely a big step.
So everybody watch Unskippable and tell the Escapist how much you like it.
Or all other shows too.
Gap Filler asked a bunch of other questions, but I'm actually only going to answer where the Graham Street sign is from. That's up in our apartment. There's a street in town called Graham Street, and they changed out all the street signs like 20 years ago, like 25 years ago, and my mom went to the local, like the municipal dump, and was like, "Can I get the old sign?" And they were like, "Well, root around for it," and she found it. Lord Hosk is asking some questions about Bump in the Nights.
No more.
I will not stop until we own every Bump in the Night in the world. Because they're not being reprinted at this point.
I doubt I will
True.
ever be able to maintain the constant long-term focus necessary for a career, but I am able to do quite well in scholastic endeavors, so I'll be maximizing my benefits by staying in school for a triple major, followed by stay-at-home dad. What majors should I pick? Alternately, what random type of classes should I throw into my schedule?
Oh, well,
We're not the people to ask.
I recommend political science.
In my experience, school has required as much, if not more, focus than.
Yeah, school's super hard, dude.
Because school you got to keep doing even when you're not at school, because you got homework and stuff.
Yeah. You can do good at school. You can probably do good at jobs. You think jobs are like, if you get a nice desk job where like, you get really efficient at it, you're working like 5 hours a day max, right? And like that is literally how people in like big offices work. Because I've worked in like big companies, and there's a lot of screwing around on the internet. Like people are not as productive as you think they are. And if you like actually work for 8 hours a day, you will either A, run out of work, or B, annoy everybody else because you will look like some sort of superhuman.
You know what's good to do on Mondays? Watch Loading Ready Run videos.
Yeah. But at one job, I got so good at doing it, I was able to do all of my Desert Bus organization stuff at work because I just had all that free time. But anyhow, school is hard. I recommend political science. It'll give you a good grounding in principles of economics and philosophy and history of the developing world and all sorts of stuff. Also, it's my major, so I feel sort of compelled to represent it. But a lot of the useful things I know about how the world works is because I learned a broad strokes overview through my degree.
I don't know. I don't really get asked that too much, but my usual thought is something technology related, either computer science or that kind of stuff. Just because the way the world is moving, the way the world works now, and the way the world is moving, even if you do have some sort of boring office job, having experience in at least the basic concepts of computer programming and how computers work is incredibly important.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That in English for basically the same. You need computer science for how computers work and English for actually how to talk and write properly.
I don't know that English really teaches you that. English, like, obviously you need like basic talking and writing properly, but English, my experience with English is write this essay about something, write this essay about a book, and it's like, flip randomly through the book, jam your finger in to stop it on like a line, and be like, great, that's my justification, and I can argue whatever I want because English is the most subjective major in the universe.
I guess not like English literature, but actually like English for journalism and that kind of stuff.
Composition and stuff.
Just being able, the ability to make yourself understood and in writing is so incredibly valuable, no matter what your job is.
Mm-hmm. Admiral Mamo and Yaxley are both asking if there will be new stuff in the store soon, and there will be.
Yes.
Matty is asking, seeing as I've just finished a work placement in school, my question is this: would you or have you ever gone to a primary or elementary school to demonstrate or teach a session on filming or editing? Funny story. We actually did a Skype call last week, 2 weeks ago, with a class.
An elementary would have been an elementary.
Yeah, an
school.
elementary school class taught by a fan of ours, Zach, they're doing a sketch comedy class for. Is it for people who aren't on the ski trip?
Yeah, it seemed to be. It was like an amalgamation of like all the different grades.
But it was like a multi-week class. He's doing it for like 2 months.
Yeah.
I think. So anyway, we did a Q&A with their class. Actually, we recorded it. I think we're going to be putting it up. It's a little hard to hear the students, but yeah, we're going to be. They asked us some questions about sort of how it got started and things like that.
But we've never actually gone in person to do it. We've been approached it a couple of times, but it's never really worked out.
Excuse me.
Dibria asks, why are we still on season 8? Your average season length is well over a year. We're not. We're in season 10. The version number on the website, which should read version 9, is actually just website revision. It's not actually,
not season revision.
Yeah.
Is this season 10? No, it's season 9.
Yeah.
Are we in the 10th year?
No,
We started-
no, this is the 9th. We are in the 9th year.
We started in 2003. Yeah. So this will
At the end of
this
in October 2013, that will be 10. Like that will be the end of the 9th season, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't we do math?
Anyhow,
I
moving on.
can. Why can't you do math?
All right, fair enough.
It'll be in. Yeah.
Man, Gap Builder's just like, holy crap, I have all these questions. What actually happened with the season 5 DVD? Some of the commentaries were apparently recorded. I imagine production went on the back burner, but I don't think the story's ever been told. Did we not release a season 5 DVD?
Yeah, there's a season 5 DVD.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can buy it right now.
Yeah.
I guess it took really long
I don't
time to
know.
come out.
I don't know
what he's talking
I
about.
mean,
it didn't though.
Season 5. Yeah,
it
I mean,
didn't take didn't take any longer than
it didn't take any longer than
Yeah.
any of it, but it was not plagued with problems.
I mean, all our season DVDs have taken way longer than we were hoping they would. But
as
it's
seen
just-
in the fact that there's no season 6 and we're in season 9 or 10, we don't know.
that's just because we always get busy with doing new stuff and things like that.
Kathleen, you want to weigh in on the new My Bloody Valentine album?
It's not bad.
All right. Speaking of DVDs, now that we're getting to that stage, what are your plans for the various Loading Ready Run Gaiden projects, such as Unskippable, Failhouse, etc., etc., etc.
Well, there's a-
Checkpoint. So Unskippable, we can't do a DVD of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
It's-
we don't even own it.
One, that's up to the escapist, and two, it's largely composed of copyrighted footage from video games, so that probably isn't going to fly.
No.
That's fraught with difficulty for several reasons.
Failhouse, I'm pretty sure we did the whatever thing. I'm sure we'll archive Failhouse at some point.
Same with Feed Dump.
Yeah, same with VDump and Checkpoint probably as well. ENN, I would
Yeah.
like to, because there's a lot of there's a lot of stuff in ENN I'm really really proud of that is our
Yeah.
original stuff.
I feel
and
like
to.
I think ENN
but-
is more
More so than
suited,
Checkpoint.
more so than Checkpoint, because the problem with
Yeah.
Checkpoint is now it's a topical news, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not something you go back and watch necessarily, because
So that's,
Yeah,
a
it's
lot
like
of it is-
it's like it's an it's an example of like the Daily Show or this hour or this hour's 22 minutes or Weekend Update or whatever. You don't really want like an archive of all the Weekend Update things from 10 years ago.
Yeah,
No.
what you want is like the you just want like all the Stefan bits.
Yeah, but on the other hand, yeah, like ENN especially had all the little bits in the
funny
feature
news stories. Yeah.
that were
Completely
a lot more,
made up.
Yeah, that were a lot more complex.
All right, cherry picking a question here. Vola Fortis, what is the pride of each of your Magic collections?
Oh God.
I have all the holiday cards.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
just thinking
those.
my holiday cards are pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Well, I guess not all the holiday cards. Do you have all of them?
Yeah.
Oh, really? How'd you get the other one? Like, I have the recent ones.
When
but-
we were down in Seattle, Mike Gills gave them. I guess Kathleen and I have them actually.
Oh,
When we
nice.
went- yeah, he gave us each. Or not each. He gave us both
Yeah.
one
yeah.
copy between us of each of the holiday
They're
cards.
grams.
Nice.
Like fruitcake elemental. And
They're
Yeah.
grams. They're in Graham's binder.
Season's
I don't
beatings.
care.
Well, if I ever cash them in, I'll give you half.
You'll never cash them in.
No, they're so cool. Dear Doctors Lured, though mostly Graham, this is a question from Zippa. I remembered you mentioning a while back that you like the soundtrack to the Highlander movies. Do you listen to and or like the bands, Queen, other
Yes.
music other than what is on the soundtrack? Yes, because it's Queen.
It's Queen. Everybody likes Queen.
Who doesn't like Queen?
People who hate good music.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Um,
Also, I like Queen, the band on the
yeah.
Highlander
If any other
soundtrack.
members of the crew have heard of them, feel free to chip in.
Okay, fun fact.
I think he might be a little younger than
yeah,
us.
Yeah, I think he's probably definitely younger than us. But fun fact, ancient Kathleen. My dad has always loved music, and that's why I love music so much. And one of his favorite albums was the there's 2 Queen best of sets that came out in the 90s. And one of which was like he had the one with the blue cover, and it was like 2 discs, 2 CDs of all of Queen's greatest hits, and I loved that album when I was a kid. I listened to the crap out of it.
Mad Andy saying, longtime fan, first time forum goer. This is his first post.
Congratulations.
He asks a whole bunch of questions. Feel free to ignore as many as you wish, but I like this one because it's sort of relevant. You've previously said that there's unlikely to be a passing the torch moment for Loading Ready Run since it basically consists of you guys. Do you think instead it's likely to be more of an Avengers thing where some people leave and other people join until the roster is completely different, but it's still Loading Ready Run? Well, we're on the way.
I guess.
Like,
I wasn't there at the beginning. It's true.
yeah, like it started with myself and Paul, and it became like myself, Paul, and James and Bill and Morgan, and then Matt, and
Then me.
well, sorry,
Well, I mean,
Jared
like
first, and
yeah,
then kind of Kathleen and Matt around the same sort of time. Like Matt was barely involved at all during season 1,
yeah.
and then over the years it's shifted a bunch more, and like now Alex is more involved, and Cam and Beige at least most recently, but like through the years there have been people who were more involved and are now less involved, and
Yeah, I mean, I guess I can imagine that theoretically happening. I think it would be weird, but
I kind of don't think that there will be a situation where Loading Ready Run has none of us involved.
Yeah. that
I
seems
think
kinda
Loading
odd.
Ready Run ceases to be Loading Ready Run if Graham and Paul are not involved.
like I think
I'm negotiable, but
if you wanted to, yeah, like I think at that point they might as well call themselves something different.
Yeah.
that's a good question. I like it.
Yeah.
Dear Doctors Graham and Paul, how would you rank the 5 games you have Let's Played so far from a watcher's perspective? From a watcher's perspective, in order, Venetica seems to have an amateurish charm. Curse Crusade has some good ideas ruined by horrific gameplay. X-Men Destiny was bland and boring. Legaia was incomprehensible, and Dante's Inferno was like being tortured with implements made of solid stupid. I think Dante's Inferno was probably the best one.
Yeah, I not only enjoyed, like I actually just played Dante's Inferno myself just because it was so fun and ridiculous. It's got a lot of bad stuff in it, obviously, but I think I enjoyed that Let's Play because it had the combination of the game being so ridiculous, and then Brad had some really great stuff in that too. Just when we were doing the Let's Play with him adding little details, which of course he also did in the Curse Crusade, but Curse Crusade is such a long, terrible game.
Yeah.
It kind of I like that Dante's Inferno was a fairly short game too.
You guys need to Let's Play shorter games because the frustration. And by the way, I put up the last episode of the Curse Crusade Let's Play today. And I wanted to finish it, right? Because it's been dragging on for a long time.
Or yesterday, if you're listening to this on Saturday.
But yeah, I put it up on Friday the 15th with a commemorative and dumb blog post. But you can audibly hear the frustration in your voices. But the last few episodes, you're like, oh, this game. Because you've been playing, because they played it in a marathon session. You took them, you guys were playing for 8 hours straight.
Yeah,
I love two big marathon sessions.
I love the end of episode 23 because this is after Paul had to leave. The end of episode 23, Brad and I had been there for half an hour trying to get through the last level, and we get hung up on some cheapness and die and have to restart the last level, and we're like, oh no, and then we're just silent, and then it's just like, okay, we're gonna go away for a little bit, take a deep breath, and come back. And it's really funny.
And in episode 24, it was like New Year's or something like that when you guys finished this.
Yeah, and we're like, Kathleen, we need help. Come here, help.
Yeah, well,
we
because
need backup.
we're all supposed to go out do something or go get food, and me and our friend Matthew are waiting at our house going,
Different Matt.
yeah, a different Matthew.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're waiting and going, why is this taking so long? Like, how long can this game be? We get there and you're not done and you're just like on tilt. They were furious. They're like,
Well, I remember like when we were first playing, when we played it in the first session with Brad, like whatever the year before the second session, we were going through it and we were like, as with Dante's Inferno, you know, we played it for like 6 hours straight because we went through just the
but you
entire
played the
game.
whole game.
Yeah, and so this one we did it for like 6 hours or something ridiculous, and I was looking at, because I was curious as to how much longer it was, and I was looking at a walkthrough, and I realized that we were on like the second chapter out of like 7, and I was like, guys, we're not going to finish this today.
Yeah, we didn't realize initially.
Yeah. Curse Crusade is like 6 times longer than it needs to be.
Dr. Graham, I've noticed that in unedited things you will occasionally stutter slightly before a word. As someone with a slight stutter myself, I was wondering if you have any sort of impediment or if it is just a vocal quirk. I do indeed have a speech impediment. It's quite bad, actually, in some situations. So when I get very, very excited or very nervous, I can't actually start talking. My brain likes to try and make me inhale while attempting to speak, which, pro tip, doesn't work. And so I end up sort of like trying to force the word out while breathing in. It's bad. I mean, it was much like, I also had a stutter as well, and then my grade 3 teacher was like, you should consider sending your son to speech therapy. So I went to speech therapy, and it helped with the stutter, and it helped with the other thing too, but it still happens from time to time. It's
especially certain sounds.
Yeah. It's bad with, it happens a lot on Checkpoint, actually, because I'll be starting a sentence. I'll be talking about Electronic Arts, and I'll need to start a sentence with this
like the company Electronic Arts
sound. Yeah, so I'll have to say like video game publisher Electronic Arts, and you can cut off the bit where I say video game publisher, and it just sounds like we're going Electronic Arts. But it's just, for some reason, starting with that like exhale. If I can't ramp into it, like what the speech therapist taught me was try to start making a noise or at least exhaling before I start talking. So if I'm starting a sentence on like an S sound, I can like start into it before I actually begin speaking. But with something like just a hard like consonant noise, it's very difficult.
Right, we have to sort of flick your tongue a little bit to start.
Yeah. Dear Dr. James, why, when you do immature jokes, do I find them funny, and when other people do them, I find them obnoxious?
Because I'm charming. When do I do immature jokes?
I don't know.
I don't even know.
All the time.
All the time, maybe?
Apparently.
I mean, I do stupid stuff in loading times, but that's about it.
And that's probably what he's talking about.
Yeah, I think it's just because I'm cute.
Yeah, you're charming.
Yeah.
James
Get away with
is
it.
very cute.
Yeah.
Not as cute as Graham. And certainly not as cute as Paul.
Nobody's cute as Paul.
Actually, Paul's not cute. He's gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
All right. Let's get this done.
What is the closest Loading Ready Run has ever come to stopping, breaking up, or ceasing to exist?
I don't think we've ever really come that close to breaking up or ceasing to exist.
I don't think we have. I'm trying to think of any.
We're a remarkably drama-free group. I'm sorry to...
Anybody who ever just gets sick of it just stops.
Yeah, I mean, there has been stuff with especially like individual shows where, you know, different things, like when we did the transition, like there was a thing with, you know, when ENN first went to like the ENN newsroom, and then that kind of like when we were trying to figure out how the heck, because we had to cut a bunch from our budget on The Escapist, and so we're like, okay, how the heck are we going to do this? So that was a little tricky. I mean, there was never the idea that we were going to stop doing Loading Ready Run or stop making videos at all or anything.
Yeah.
But that was something where we had to kind of work out what we were going to cut and what we were going to keep. But no, it's just, you know, some people are not able to devote the time to it anymore and have to do other stuff. But
yeah, we're still here.
It's not really breaking out.
Utilitarian asks, I hear you might be going to the Calgary Expo this year.
We are.
You heard correctly.
Who all could be there if so?
I believe.
Who is anyone not going? Who's not going?
I don't know.
I think we're all going.
We're going.
I mean, everybody here, I assume.
I think so.
Maybe,
I think so.
Yeah, Paul, you're going?
Yeah, I think so.
Yay!
But like,
Cool.
I don't know. Jared may or may not be there. Wait, when is it again?
I don't know.
It's in like end of April, I think.
I think.
So maybe, I don't know. Jared maybe
we'll
not.
see.
Matt maybe not, because they'll be in school and all that stuff. So who cares about those guys though?
I don't know. Maybe we'll luck out and we'll get like Cam or something like that.
My pseudonym is Ix. Says, "Oh, because I'm a hopeless optimist. Do any of you guys follow rugby at all?" Sorry, we do not.
Nope.
No, just no.
All right, and last questions from Dark Abyss Keeper. Your guys' videos and streams have been really helpful in keeping me awake during the night to look after my new baby girl.
Aw.
Her name is Persephone.
No.
Aw.
That's very nice. I want to thank you guys for that. Did you ever think when you started out that you'd be producing so many weekly shows while doing outside work like Strip Search and actually needing the 3 different monthly podcasts to keep your fans sated?
No.
No.
No. I mean, when we first started out, we didn't know anything, so
Follow
we
up.
didn't have any ideas.
Follow up. How does that feel?
And podcasts weren't
Feels
really a
pretty good.
thing, so we wouldn't have really thought about that.
That's true.
But yeah, it's neat how it sort of evolved.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think?
And make sure you keep that abyss keeper.
Yes. Do you think it could be? Do you think it could be better? Alternately, do you think it could be worse?
Oh,
It could
so much
definitely be worse. And yeah, it could be better. And
Yeah.
we hope to always make it better.
Mm-hmm.
That's
We're
our
always striving-
ongoing goal.
Strive to improve. That's my goal.
And he makes gifs. Sorry, there's a link at the bottom of his post. It just says my LRR gifs.
Is that the?
That was the end of the
it?
Askler thread. Yeah,
Yay.
I picked and chosen, skipped 1 or 2, 4 or 5,
A lot.
questions, but
10 or 11.
we
Well,
wanted
that's
to
fine.
we wanted to
Yeah.
try and keep it under an hour. We did like an hour and a half the last time we did a Loading Ready Run podcast because we
little
hadn't done one in a while, but we wanted to keep this one a little bit more reasonable. So, yeah, that's it.
I think that's it.
Yay!
Is our next podcast?
Our next
Is it-
podcast would be.
Is it Tap Tap Concede again?
No,
Because we
we
did
did-
that.
No,
We did
it's
that
those
other one
games.
bonusly. Okay.
It's gonna go. The next one will be those games, and then we'll go back to Tap Tap Concede.
Okay.
And then in a couple weeks we'll do the 4th podcast, which we kind of know what it's going to be. Do we want to tell these people what it is, or
I think we should arrange for it first.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what you're telling me is you're giving me the sort of go ahead to play as much Persona 4 the Golden as I can cram into my eyeballs.
Yeah.
Yes, because you need permission to do that.
Yes.
I kind of do because I have work to do. But I mean, now it's for work.
Oh
right?
yes. Also, if you are in Victoria, you should check out TsukinoCon next weekend.
True story.
Not only is it a sweet anime convention in Victoria, but Loading Ready Run will also be there in various capacities. Graham and I will be doing a live Let's Play on Friday night, and then Loading Ready Run will be doing just sort of one of our standard or one of our famous Q&As with screening things.
Yep.
On Saturday night. So come by and talk to us. Say hi. Ask questions in person if Graham skipped over your question today. And also, you can actually, our good friend Beej and his sweet improv troupe, Synaptic Chaos, is going to be at TsukinoCon as
If you
well.
haven't seen a Synaptic Chaos improv, you probably should because they're incredibly funny.
They
And-
wear boxers for their late night show.
They're quite dirty too. So definitely
Only at their late night show.
So check out, like, if you're into more family entertainment, check out their thing. If you are like me and like the filth, definitely make their late night show a must go to. Super funny.
And as you might guess, by the fact that they're at an anime convention and it's Beej, that it's super geeky improv. too.
True
So,
story.
Yeah, there's
it's very funny.
you may have seen a little bit of their some limited SCT comedy stylings on Desert Bus. It's like that, but more.
All right. I
Right.
think that's it.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us for this week's Loading Ready Run podcast. Do 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 do
That's
do
not-
do 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 do.